blanket, feeling cold against your skin. Running through the chaos, letting all the sin. Temptation in a bottle, ready for the night. Craving for the thrill, it's time to ignite. Dark desires burning bright, echoes in the dead of night. No retreat, no looking back on this heart attack.
Hey, my ladies and gentlemen, how are you? Back here again on this Saturday night to hang out with you all, talk some true crime, and whatever else is going on in the world. We'll see, but there's a lot of stories to catch up on, including the Gravola story that I brought you last night. There has been a couple of updates. I feel very sorry for that father, John Gravola. He has been posting on his Facebook a little bit. A lot of people saying, condolences and saying how sorry they are. His final photo he posted, we showed you last night, was a photo of his daughter. And it's a really heartbreaking case that we talked to you about last night. Really sad. But we have the big story tonight is a story we have covered all year. The Houston Bayous again active. It is strange. I kept thinking like, oh, as it gets colder, this will probably go away. Not as many people near the river, and it'll probably just sort of like resolve itself until the next summer. Well, no, it's not. There are more people that have been found, and I am going to bring that to you in a minute. Give me 1 second. Sorry, we've had a very busy day here on this Sunday in Australia. In the Ping household, our fridge died after 15 years. Our poor fridge that we've had for like 15 years, just we went to get something out of it this morning and we're like, why is it not cold? It's like it felt warmish, and I was like, that's not how fridges work. It's not an oven. And I was messing with it for a few hours, going like, is it actually broken? And it seems like unfortunately it is. So we've been running around like madmen trying to order a new fridge. So, fun and games of being an adult. All right, let me get you up to speed on this about what's going on. 3 more bodies found in the Houston Bayous, which, why this is interesting, there was a woman who went missing in this area about a week or so ago. She's been missing since just before Christmas, and the last place she was seen was near one of these bayous that is really well known for these bodies coming out of it. So, hey guys, good to see you. Good to see everyone out there. Good to see all of you here in Melbourne tonight, hanging out on this Sunday afternoon. Yeah, it sucks, but it's just how things go in life. I mean, it did well. 15 years out of a fridge. That's pretty good, right? Yeah, so social media rumors spark after 3 bodies found in Houston Bayou. Experts say rumors are false. Well, I'm glad we have the experts to tell us that all the rumors are false. Um, so one of the interesting explanations I found about this, so if you don't know what this is, I'll give you a little bit of a rundown. Starting in around July of this year, there was a bunch of people found in the bayou. Throughout the summer in Houston, they kept getting called out to bodies found in these riverways or water systems around Houston. And it sort of died off as we got into August. And then in September and October, it flared back up again. And there was a bunch of bodies found in the space of about a 2-week period. They found several. And it sort of reignited this whole serial killer, uh, you know, social media is going wild with the talk of a serial killer in Houston. One of the things that I found interesting is there was someone talking about it this morning, someone who works with the homeless in Houston, and they were saying, think about it from someone who is in a homeless situation that lives on the riverbanks as a person who lives in like those type of communities along the riverbank. And they said, what happens when someone dies in that situation? And they were saying, well, they don't want to draw police attention to them because, they have drugs and some other, whatever else. They don't want authorities coming down to where they're camping illegally. And so what do they do to the person who has passed away in their homeless encampment? And one of the homeless advocates was saying, unfortunately, what they do is they push the dead people into the water. And I was like, "Oh, okay, that I can see where that might come from, and it probably happens to some people, sure, but some of the people who have been found in the waterway in Houston don't fit that description. They are achieving people, they are college people, they may have a job, and they're not in the homeless population. So it makes it a bit strange that explanation doesn't fit for all the people they've found within the water. So you have to ask the question, what really is going on in the bayous in Houston? So let me play this and then we'll give you some more facts.
It has happened again this week. Authorities recovering 3 bodies from local bayous. Now, earlier this year, as we've reported, police recovered 5 bodies in less than a week. This is once again sparking concern and fear in the community. Let's get the facts from ABC 13's Brianna Willis, joining us live from Buffalo Bayou, where, Brianna, one of those bodies was found this week.
Yeah, that's true. And when multiple bodies are found in the same week in our bayous, we have seen it on social media, people posting, well, there must be a serial killer. Well, we have spent the last few months speaking with experts. The mayor has spoken out. And while, of course, each case is tragic and sad, they say the reality is there is no serial killer.
And we have some breaking news in downtown Houston. HPD says a man's body was found in Buffalo Bayou.
For the 5th time this week, a body has been pulled from a Houston bayou.
Unfortunately, it feels like a never-ending saga. Bodies recovered from the bayous. Now, once again, sparking concerns.
The mathing, I think there's a serial killer.
I'm assuming there must be someone out there, no? Because it's ridiculous that so many people are dying in the bayou.
But authorities have said each case is different and unique, but each case, someone's loved one.
Unfortunately, the homeless, when they pass, often end up in the bayou.
This week, a body recovered Wednesday from Buffalo Bayou, and 2 bodies recovered Monday from Buffalo and Brays Bayou, according to investigators. The Houston Chronicle reporting the medical examiner's office recorded 35 deaths from the bayous in 2024, and so far this year, there's now around 34 deaths.
I know it seems like a lot, but just because there's a lot doesn't mean that one person or a couple people are going out and killing all of these people.
Both criminal justice professor Dr. Krista Gureg and retired HPD Captain Greg Freeman say it's important not to jump to conclusions and be vigilant.
There's a lot of traffic in and around that area downtown, and unfortunately things are recovered from there. And there's a lot of drownings. There's a lot of bodies that unfortunately over the years have ended up in the bayou. But this is not anything to be concerned about or to believe that we have a rabid serial killer on the loose in the downtown area. Nothing has indicated that to me in my professional opinion.
I'd believe them if it all stopped after the summer, because that way you had an excuse. You could say, well, during the summer, there's a lot more people hanging out down by the water. You're bound to have more people found in the waterways during the heat because people try to cool off or, whatever. And we all know during the summer, drowning deaths increase. But we're in the middle of winter. It's the middle of winter in Houston now. No, it doesn't get that cold, but it's still not summer. And it's interesting. I have shown the records of over the last 20 years. Hold on, Houston. Drowning deaths. I think we showed them on one of our shows over the last little while. Yeah, I'll bring it up in a second and I'll show it. Hey, Tangled Chords. Hey, good to see you. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Tangled Chords says, I grew up kind of close to my roots of the bayou. They could try cover it up, but there is something going on. I'm telling you, something bad is going on there. I don't disbelieve you. I would say not all of these can be accidental, right? If we just look at the grand scheme of how the world works, there's got to be at least some of these that are not, someone who is homeless, who has unfortunately gone into the water, someone who has been, drug or drink affected that's fallen in. They can't all be that. And I would say at least some of them are probably, you know, nefarious in some way. They're saying here, I'll show you some of the records dating back. Here, if I can find the county medical examiner. So this is the 2025 one. Okay, here we go. So this is for 2025 in Harris County, Texas. And this is just for this year. And these were, yeah, I'll make this bigger so we can see. So this was beginning of the year, and they're saying accident, and they said toxic effects of cocaine, and this one that sounds like rhymes with, I can't, I don't think I can even make it rhyme. You guys can read, that's fine. Drowning because of drug affected, that's what I'm going to say. And this one, they're saying it's an accident in Feb. Sudden cardiac death associated with hypertensive cardiovascular disease. And it says also with hypothermia, probably from getting in the water. Drowning with blunt force trauma in March. Undetermined. This was in March as well. April, undetermined, but multiple blunt force injuries. This one was in April, May. This one's in May. They say it's an S word. Gunshot wound of the head to someone found in a bayou. Undetermined, a couple more undetermined. And then here, homicide. 13th of May. Multiple blunt impact injuries with hemoperitoneum. Don't even know what that is. Hold on. What is this? One of my chat will probably know. Ruptured organs. Ugh. Ruptured organs. Horrible. And then this one is accident, drowning with toxic effects of it looks like alcohol and phenylcyclinide, whatever that is, some chemical. A bunch more that are undetermined. These are now in June, and then July undetermined. Only one accident out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 coming into August. So 6 of the ones in July and June are undetermined. Only one they have determined that it is an accident. Again, reasons for that accident are the same as one further up. Promethazine and that other drug there. So another one that was a drug intoxication. Undetermined for a few more. This one is a S word, and they're saying gunshot wound of the head, and that was in September. Then a bunch more that are undetermined. These are the ones that kicked off the media coverage in September. They are still undetermined. One of them on the 18th of September is a mixture of drug affected and drowning. But then the other two in late September, undetermined. Now we come up to October, pending. And that's all we get to. So they haven't done the others for the rest of the year. But as you can see here, number of cases. So if we go back to 2017, the number of yearly cases was 20, and then in 18 it was 18. 2019, which was the start of the pandemic, there was 12, and then in 2020 there was 27, 2021 16, 2022 there was 20, 2023 was 22, and then in 2024 it jumped to 35. And then 2025 says 31, but I believe we're much higher than that now. We're closer to 40 now. So there you go. There's at least a some of them from this year that I can at least show to you the data from it, but there's an awful lot of them that are undetermined. Look at that. If we look at this list, they've only figured out a few of them, and there's a couple here that are homicides. So there's a homicide, there was another one somewhere, and there's probably a few more in these undetermined. So there's probably a few more that they haven't got the answers to as of yet. As you can see, a vast majority of them are considered undetermined. So there you go. There is at least some of the data coming out of Harris County. And what are the age ranges? Let's have a look. So the majority of the people seem to be in the, I'd say, 20s to 40s. That seems to be the majority of the age range. There's a couple here, 57. A person here who was a Hispanic male, that one's undetermined. Hispanic male, almost 70, found in Bayou, and that was earlier this year. Is he the oldest? I think so. He was the oldest. There was another one who was 67. That was Michael Rice, a black male, and that was in September, but that one is undetermined at this time. So there is at least some of the data for you. I hope that helps. Hey, Tangle Cord, how are you? Ellie just doesn't want a bad name. Your mom was parole and probation officer down there. She always told me don't ever trust the LE. I appreciate your information from someone who's actually, down there, got some connections down there. I appreciate it. Emily Narb said, agree, something is definitely going on. It is a bit strange that they've only been able to determine some of them that are just painstakingly obvious. So if it's got something to do with drugs and drowning, they're like, yeah, we got it. We can put it on here. But look how many, and I want to see the full 2025. This one only goes to October. We're now in December, almost January, and we've had a bunch more since October. We've had, I think, another 5 or 6 people found. So we've got a few more to add to this particular list. So yeah, there you go. But you can see definitely from 2017, it seemed to hover around that 20 or so mark. That was sort of the average. And then they had a down year in 2019 because of the pandemic. No one was getting around. And then 2020 was 27. It dropped again in 2021 to 16. And it sort of hovered around that 20 mark until last year and this year when it almost doubled to 35, and this year will be somewhere closer to 40. And you're seeing that rate. So there's been something that's caused a sort of doubling of deaths in the waterways over the last couple of years, 2024 and 2025. So I don't know what's causing it, but it is a lot of people. Marlene said they need an outreach program. They definitely need something. I believe they should be investing in more cameras. And I know you can't cover every square inch of the bayou, but there's obviously some public places where a lot of people have fallen in, especially around there's one near Buffalo Bayou near the bridge. There should be more cameras there because there's been a bunch of people that have either been found there or fallen in there. Montana said, are there similar numbers of people found dead just randomly around that are not in the water? I don't know. You'd have to check the homicide listing for Harris County, and then you'd have to find out like the streets. I doubt they would be able to tell you like just around the bayou. It would be for the whole of Harris County, and that's a pretty big area, so it would be hard to narrow it down unless they actually told you what it is. Yeah, so that came from the Harris County Institute of Forensic Sciences. That's basically their big forensic unit that do most of their toxicology and any forensics that have to happen at the scene of a crime. They provide it for court cases, all that type of thing. So this is their big, science unit. Emily said, definitely want to hear what they're going to do about it, at least the cameras. As far as I know, they're going to do absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. As far as I've heard, they just consider this to be normal and that they don't think there's any need to invest any money in any cameras or security, anything. They're saying basically this is what life is like on the bayou and that we all just have to deal with it. So I don't think they're going to do anything. I don't think that's a priority for them at all. They were saying in one of them when people were calling, the public had a town meeting down there and they were calling for more cameras. And basically, the town told the people, no, we're not going to spend the money doing it. So there you go. They basically said, we don't think there's an issue. And until we think there's an issue, we're not going to do anything about it. All right. I want to take you to ABC 13 in Houston. They also did a little bit of coverage on it. And I just want to play their side of it as well. Here we go.
Again this week, authorities recovering 3 bodies from local bayous. Now, earlier this year, as we've reported, police recovered 5 bodies in less than a week. This is once again sparking concern and fear in the community. Let's get the facts from ABC 13's Brianna Willis, joining us live from Buffalo Bayou, where, Brianna, one of those bodies was found this week.
Yeah, that's true. And when multiple bodies are found in the same week in our bayous, we have seen it on social media, people posting, well, there must be a serial killer. Well, we have spent the last few months speaking with experts. The mayor has spoken out. And while, of course, each case is
Sorry, that was the same video we played before. I thought this was our other video. Good work, Ping. Good work. They're not all in the bayou, right? You said there was more than 30. There was 30 up until October, and as you heard in that one, they found 5 the other week, plus another 3 this week. I think we're over 40 now, either at 40 or over 40. I would think. Let me see if I can get a number. This was in December 27th. It's close to about 34. Houston Chronicle saying it's 34, but I can't see that being correct when they're saying here, when was this released? Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense. That chart we had was updated on the 10th of December, so a couple of weeks ago. It was at 31 at that point. If they found 3 more this week, yeah, it would be 34. So there you go. That one was updated, but they don't have the case files for. They don't have any case files past October. Their last one is October, even though they're saying their update was in. That is right, right? I'm not getting confused with the dates. That's the 10th of December, 10th of the 12th, 2025. And I would say, I don't know why they haven't included the case files on the people for December. Guys, give me one sec. Hold on. All right, there we go. Let me see what you guys have to say. Emily says, now that can become a body dumping place because they don't really investigate. Wow, maybe. I don't know if I don't know if it's that they don't investigate. I just think they think it's not a problem as such. I think they think it's just like, oh, well, we're a city that lives on the water, and so you're going to get a certain number of deaths in the water every year. And they just don't seem to think that the rising number is anything to worry about. I don't think it's that they don't investigate it as such. I think it's more the fact they don't think it's a problem. And I think that's a problem. So, all right. Let's see what else we can find. There was one more that I wanted to. There was a data dating back 20 years, and we had it on the show a little while ago. If I can find it, I'll show it to you. But we saw the one for the last 12 months. So they're saying here that the Houston PD responded to Buffalo Bayou on Wednesday after receiving a report of a body in the bayou. days after two bodies were recovered minutes apart from each other. Around 1:25 p.m., officers and a dive team responded in the 4400 block of Memorial Drive after a person walking along the bayou noticed a man's body in the water. The identity and cause of death of the man are still unknown. HPD said in a statement, more information is expected to be given pending an autopsy. No other details were given surrounding the person pulled out of the water this week. This marks the 34th body found in or near Harris County bayous this year, according to the Harris County Institute of Forensic Sciences. So there you go. Chipmunk said, I thought denial was a river in Africa. Hey, Tanya, how are you? How big is drug gangs in the area? It's Houston, so I'm guessing pretty big. Tangle says, okay. Yeah, I would say like any city, there is drug activity. I think anytime you get close to a city area, you're always going to have some, uh, gangs and drugs and of different varieties. So you have people who are dealing drugs, you have people who are moving drugs, you have people who are local criminals, you have other ones that are bigger. So yes, there would be drug activity in the area. Yeah, I would think so. Houston's pretty well known for that type of thing. All right, let's see. I want to see what else we can find. So there was a missing girl, and we were looking at it the other day. I'll show you. Missing woman in Houston, and we were worried about it. But her name is Sydney Marquez. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong with my Australian. But she went missing really close to the bayou, and a lot of us were saying, "Oh, I hope they don't find her in that bayou." But if I show you where she went missing, one of the last places she was seen was like very close to 9100 block of Boulevard. Okay. So she was found, like she went missing from over here. So somewhere over here was the last place Sydney was seen. They have her on CCTV camera. The bayou is not too far away. It's just here. This is Bray's Bayou. This is one of the ones that has had a number of people pulled out of it just this year. So the fact that she was only about a block away or a couple of blocks away from the water, some of us were like, I hope that is not where she's ended up, because as you can see, it's pretty easy to access from the residential. Like you can just walk straight up to it. There's nothing stopping you. You can just walk straight across the grass into the water if you so wanted to. And then it goes further north. I'll go a little bit north with it. If we go a little bit north, not that. It's a little far away now. I'm just showing you how far these go through the city. You can just, they go everywhere. So they wind everywhere, and you'll end up at like bigger waterways like here. Here's a bigger version of Bray's Bayou, and then they keep going. So I hope that is not what happens to Sydney, who was missing from Chinatown, left her friend's car there unlocked, jumped on a bus, and just kind of left the area a couple of weeks ago. They still have not located her either. Here, I'll show you. I'll see if we get an update from this one. 4 days ago. So the only update they've had is about 4 days ago. That's a shame that that's the last update for her. Here. So this was Sydney, missing December 11 in Southwest Houston in the 9100 block of Bel Air Boulevard. And so far, no trace of her either. So let's hope she doesn't end up in the statistics for the Bayou. Let's hope not. Kim says, I wouldn't go near the water there at all. I don't think I'd want to go near the water either. Danny says that water has to be contaminated. It doesn't look very it's very murky, but I've heard it's very muddy too. But a lot of the bayous look not exactly crystal clear water. They are quite muddy is the word I'm going to use. Yeah, so there we go. Let me see if we've got any other data based on this one. Because it is concerning that we've had so many people over 3-4 months now just wind up in these waterways. Okay, let me go here. So this week was a male. That's one of the things that's interesting. In that data that we saw, the majority of people found in the water are male. So if we go by that data sheet that they gave out, almost exclusively are male victims. There's only in 2025, there's only 3 females out of 34 victims so far. 3. So that is a very tiny percent of the people. And it seems like, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. There is a very slight slant towards it being black males being the victims in the waterways. It's almost 50-50, but not quite. And it's just slightly above on the black male percentage, but it's almost even. So if you wanted to know a profile of who might be found in the waterway, it could be a little more common to unfortunately find one of our black males. And then the second one would be white male. And then very, very far down the list would be white female. So the majority of the people are men, and the not very many females at all, 3. So I don't know what that tells you. Does it tell you that men are more likely to be risk-taking behavior and ending up in the water? I'm not sure, but it's a bit strange. Texas said, were Austin victims more males at Lady Bird Lake? Yes. Lady Bird Lake also had a majority of male victims. Why? I'm not sure. I would say if you asked a professional, they would say it's something to do with male behavior and risk taking, because males are more likely to take risks than females, and especially when drinking. So when people are intoxicated, especially men, they're more likely to do stupid things that end up getting themselves into trouble. And that's what I think if you asked a psychologist or something, that's probably what they would tell you. Tangled says, yes, Ladybird Lake. We've talked Ladybird Lake has been sort of quiet. Since we've done the bayous in Houston, it's been very quiet in Ladybird Lake. I know there's a lot of people who want to draw a comparison between the two. I don't think if there was a serial killer, I don't think it's the same person. But yeah, Ladybird Lake's been quiet this year. Hold on, Ladybird Lake, Austin. Let me see if there's been any update in Ladybird Lake. It's been quiet for that one. I wonder if there's been an increase in, I don't know, cops or something being out there. Last update I can see was in June, and they did a breakdown of the victims in that one. So I'll take you to there so you guys can see the difference maybe between the different type of statistics between the two.
Lake that have caught people's attention with speculation surrounding the possibility of a serial killer, but investigators have found no reason to believe that. There have been at least 38 bodies found in or around Lady Bird Lake since 2022, according to data obtained by Fox 7. Of those, 30 were male. About 60% were between the ages of 30 and 49. Only 2 of them were teenagers, including the body found on Tuesday.
Another paddleboarder was here out on Lady Bird Lake and notified us that it appeared that an individual was deceased and floating on Lady Bird Lake.
While the latest body to surface in the lake has not been identified yet, Austin police believe it's likely the teenager who went missing on Sunday. He was paddleboarding and kayaking with his family. We're told he got off to stand in shallow waters, but unknowingly was near an underwater shelf, which is a sudden drop-off in the lake.
At some point during their paddleboarding session, one of the individuals went missing from their family.
So in Ladybird Lake, a slightly different demographic. Here you go. You can see their percentages as well. But again, an overwhelming majority being male. But they got a slight uptick in the younger people compared to the one in Houston. The one in Houston tends to be slightly older. This one has most of these ones are in the 30 to 49, so that matches, but they have a slight bit more in the teen to 29 age, which is interesting. Yeah, so not that dissimilar between the two. Couple little like irregularities between each other, but other than that, sort of very similar. Males, mostly older, and possible intoxication or other things. Let's see. Emily said, even the reports say the number with a shock. Yeah. Hey, Purple Daisy, how are you? Usually, a serial killer victims are the same gender. If both genders, usually it's a couple. That's a good point. Yes, Danny, we will get to Camilla in a minute. Yep, I have that on my list to talk about tonight. Sounds like our serial killer has a type to me. All males? All males? Possibly. You might be right. I find that interesting, but what if we break down the statistics to only the percentage that is a homicide? Because that is what we're looking at, right? We're not looking really at the accidental as such. But if we go back to those other ones, what do we have? What was the homicide on this one? Here. I'm just trying to see if we can find that one. Cause of death. No, we got to go back over. Homicide. So the one in Houston that was determined to be a homicide, that was a guy named John Morgan. He was a white male, age 44, but he wasn't found in the water as such. He was found in the Bayou embankment in Houston. So the one murder that they have on Harris County in Houston wasn't even found in the water itself. He was found on the bank of the water. So there you go. I don't know what that means, but interesting. Yeah, I think it means that when he had if I read his little column, I'll tell you. So his was the homicide. Homicide, yeah. Multiple blunt impact injuries with hemoperitoneum. And I think that means, from what I was Googling quickly, it means that maybe the multiple blunt impact injuries caused burst organs inside of him. So that's actually what his cause of death was. So basically, he was beaten to death. It sounds like he was maybe kicked and punched, and someone literally beat him to death on the banks of the river. They didn't push him in properly. Maybe that could be true. So yeah, what is going on? Even during Christmas week, we don't get a break from people ending up in the bayou in Houston. It's like crime and death, unfortunately, never stop, even during the holidays. Let me have a look over here. There is another update. So on the 16th of December, they're saying there are new numbers from the Harris County Medical Examiner's Office providing the most comprehensive look yet at all those bodies found along the Houston Bayou. Their report goes back nearly a decade, showing more than 200 bodies recovered. The deadliest years are this year and last year. Well, that's what we saw on the 10-year document. Here, let me see if I can Okay, we could bring that up. Is this the same one that we... it's the same document that we were going through. Okay. So they're just doing a review of the numbers that we were going through before, basically saying what we found out from it too, that this year and last year were the heaviest years for people found dead in the bayous. So, yeah, basically the same thing that we figured out from it. So, there you go. We just got to it quickly. Gail said, I think it's worse during the silly season. I would guess that there would be some more deaths because people are, going to Christmas parties and they're drinking more heavily, and some people don't have to go to work, so they've got a lot more free time. And, they're like, hey, come to this party and we're going out here into the city. There would probably be an uptick. I'm sure if you asked any police or emergency services, they would tell you the same thing. So that's your update for the Bayous. I don't think I want to push any more on it. I think we've sort of given you the majority of the new information for it. But if we find anything else, I'll bring it to you like always. We've been keeping track of this for a number of months now. All right, hold on. So there is I want to do the story that Danny was talking about, because I was watching this morning and I think you guys would like to talk about it. So give me a sec and I will load it up for you. Where is it? Yeah. How you guys going tonight? This is the one we're going to talk about, almost, which is funny because, not funny, but it sounded like Almost Park, which we had done a lot of stories out of last year in Houston. So I'm going to take you to, I think it's WOAI, or it might be Ken's 5. We'll see which one we have. But it is a 19-year-old Hispanic woman reported missing on the north side. So let me grab this for you. And there was a last known image released of her, and I'll show it to you. But first, I'll take you to this story.
Continues for 19-year-old Camila Olmos, who was last seen on the northwest side of Bexar County. Her family tells the night team Zaria Oates that she left home Christmas Eve around 7 a.m. and never came back.
It's a mother's worst nightmare.
Very stressful.
Maribel Mendoza's daughter, Camila Mendoza Olmos, went missing the morning of Christmas Eve. She was last seen on Caspian Spring on the far northwest side of Bexar County. This home security camera shows the last time Camila was at home next to her car. Minutes later, she's gone, and her car and her phone are still at home. It's something her friends say is completely unexpected.
We'll always be on the phone together when she walks. It's been very out of the normal.
It's not like her. She's always been the one to always stalk on us and like, why aren't you doing this?
To make sure that her phone's always charged.
Yeah.
And the search for Camila has been nonstop since Christmas Eve. Family and friends, more than 100 people searching for her here at the intersection of Braun Road and Mustang Ranch in this wooded area, and even underneath an overpass, looking for her every day until they find her.
And we've been searching on foot, like within a 3-mile radius. We don't have a single clue.
We love her. We want her with us. We hope she comes back.
Oh, devastating. It's been real hard.
What would you say to Camila right now if you could?
Well, I miss her. Daddy's waiting for her at home.
The search continues as the Bexar County Sheriff's Office issued a clear alert for Camila. Family and friends are checking the Wild Horse Park area and all over northwest Bexar County.
I want her to come back.
If someone's seen something, someone's heard something, if she's talked to you in the last few days, any hints.
You can call BCSO at 210-335-6000.
Please.
So they've been out there searching for her, including today. Heaps of members of the community have come out to try and find her, but it all seems a bit odd. The fact that they have her on that CCTV, checking her own car, and then just takes off. So last seen Christmas Eve morning, and they're saying here she shared her last post was, let me see if I find it. She said to, "Bye, Cammy, I love you." And they're saying she was someone that was just full of love. So she was talking to people. They're saying her friend says, "This is so random. We never expected this." Yeah, I know a lot of people probably don't think they're expecting someone in their family to go missing. I want to get up this CCTV still image for you so you guys can have a better look. If we can do that. Yeah. So that's her, and they've now confirmed that's her with her car. But why? It's very strange when people go missing like this, almost like you think there should have been more signs or a reason or something, but there just never is. I'm just trying to see if we can find a little bit more about her life. So it's in Bear County, 19 years old, very, very young. Family says there's nothing else in this world that we want more than just for her to be home safe. We just want her to come home. Cammy, please come home. They said these desperate pleas have been echoed by several of her childhood friends and families who have been worried sick about her. Cammy was last seen on home surveillance video in front of her house on Christmas Eve, just before 7 a.m. They said it showed her that she was opening the back of her car, and they say as the ring camera, it stops when it stops detecting motion. That's all we saw of her, just opening the back of her car door. And they say we have nothing to trace her with. We have nothing else. So that's the only bit of the interaction that they were able to capture on the Ring doorbell, because that's all it picked up. So they're saying here that they believe she left on foot, leaving the car in the driveway of the home. And they're saying it's completely not normal to have her home. Her mum has no idea of her whereabouts. Neither does her best friend. Well, yeah. They said the teens say they've searched high and low around the surrounding area since Wednesday. Family has come in from across the country and the US-Mexico border to help with the search. They said they've gathered all together to search and come together and pray. They say Friday they placed missing person flyers around the neighborhood in hopes of finding any information to find Cammy. And they said, we've gone day and night, scraping our legs, not eating, just helping. We're definitely trying to stay positive for them, doing as much as we can to put our best and putting our all into just finding her, just to bring her home safe. They said the next search was actually this morning at 7:30 a.m. in the morning at Wild Horse HOA Park. And loved ones saying that they will be searching for as long as it takes to bring Cammy home. They say anyone with information is urged to contact BCSO at 210-335-6000. So that's it. That's all we have. I don't know. What do you guys have any ideas what she might have been doing? Yeah, no phone, nothing. Just car keys for some reason. Emily Knobs, the current street. I wonder if someone is driving or it's parked. Yeah, they said driveway of the home. So did she move the car? That's something we could find out. Could she have met up with someone? It is possible. You think about it, 7:30 in the morning though, on Christmas Eve. It's very early in the morning to sort of, unless she wanted to sneak out of the house and have no one notice her. Gail said lots of people saying it's a high trafficking area. I don't know if it's a high trafficking area, but that was one of the news stories said it like that. said like, oh, she went missing in a high trafficking area. Whether that's true or not, I'm not sure. I would say that they probably have some trafficking cases for sure. Let me see if I this kind of stuff is not helpful. I'm going to read something to you and I'm going to not show you the channel that it is, but there is a channel on YouTube, and when you search Cammie's name, it says Camilla almost stalked, tricked, taken. That's not helpful. What's wrong with true crime when that's what we do now to get clicks on our videos? We make up absolute rubbish to get someone to click on the video. It is the bane of my existence as a YouTuber. I hate when I see stuff like that in missing person, cases where people just make up rubbish to get people to click on it. Let me try bring you some facts instead. Let's go to KABB. They've got an article that we can have a look at. So I want to know where is Wild Horse HOA Sports Park? Let's have a look. Wild Horse HOA Sports Park. And why would they be looking there in particular? 97 Mustang Gate, San Antonio, Texas. All right. Let's have a look on the map and see if we can find out what would be here. Okay. Not a lot out here. Here you go. Here's the Wild Horse HOA Sports Park. This is where one of the search efforts today was going to concentrate on. I mean, it looks like it's fairly well maintained. It does have this sort of floodplain thing here. Like this is for water flooding. You got this area here. It backs onto more homes, and then it is quite open through here if you're going to go search through the back of it here. And then it backs onto more homes, but it is a pretty big area to cover. That looks like private property. So you got some mixture of open land and private property by the looks of it. I would think you would have to think that if she was up in here, someone would see her or find her. It's very congested, like very residential. There's houses everywhere on either side of this park. But hey, was the search location for today. They were going to start off here and troll through the neighborhoods and ask people questions. Did you see anything? Did you find her? But that is sort of the area that they're going to have a look at. Yeah, Homeowners Association. Danny said, something seems off to me. It seems like there's not all the information is being told to the public a little bit. It seems like maybe the family's keeping a little bit of this, or the police are. The police are sort of keeping some of it close to the vest, is what I'm going to say. Because she's an adult. She's not a child. She's 19 years old. That means like she can leave her parents' house if she wants to. She doesn't have to tell them anything. She's not a 15-year-old. She's not a 12-year-old. It's not like when we have a missing, 13-year-old kid who ran away before Christmas. She doesn't have to say anything to anyone. They're saying, yeah, the boyfriend was involved in the search today. He is on one of the videos, if I can find it. He might have been in the one we watched. I can't remember if it's this one or a different one. But he has been involved in the search to look for her. And he was with the family during the searches. So, yeah, it's always funny. Every time we have a missing person case, it's like they take nothing. They don't take the phone. They only take keys or something. It's very strange. Emily Narb said the police are, I bet, checking everyone's locations, maybe. You would think so. Let me see if I can find that list of what she took. I'm pretty sure it was like car keys and that's it. It wasn't very much. She didn't take very much with her. Uh-huh. The only items known to be on her person are her car key and possibly her driver's license. Why would you need your driver's license? Unless you were actually going to go drive the car. It seems odd that she took the car key and a driver's license, but then disappeared and didn't have her phone. Strange. And they're saying here, the woman's mother, identified by Ken's Five as Rosario Olmos, told the station that she called her cell phone, but the cell phone was there on the bed and it was turned off. She said, I put it on charge and went out to look for her. I thought I would find her like other times, walking, and we would come home together. I only asked God to please bring her back home. There you go. They're saying, Cammie's family members and more than 100 other people have searched for her in the local area. So over 100 people search team. That's a lot of people. That is it. So something's just not adding up at all. A lot of things that just seem a bit off. The mum's odd. I think it's odd that a 19-year-old girl sleeps in the same bed as her mother. I mean, I don't want to judge anyone. I'll just say I personally find it odd. Doesn't mean it's not normal or something. I find that a bit different. SP1 said, is she maybe disabled in some way? What's social media show us? All right, hold on. You want to go to the dirty side? Let's see what we can find. Let's see what people are chatting about, because that normally tells you what kind of muck is going on online. Strange. That's odd. Nothing on Twitter. Everything comes back from 2023. That's strange. I don't know if this is her, but she has a Twitter account. I don't know if this is her, but you guys tell me. This is listed under the name. It's probably a very common last name, but this is the only photo posted on the Twitter account. It's hard to tell because the girl's face is not in the direct line of the photo, but that was the photo listed under the only person I could find with that name on Twitter. Let me check the other one. Let me check our other one. Let's see what we can find. It's a pretty common last name, so I would, not going to say that's definitely her. Let's see. I'm not seeing a lot, just that, like, that last known image is what everyone keeps posting about. I'm trying to see if there's anyone saying anything that we should be aware of, but I'm not seeing any. Not like last night where we picked up the dad on here. All right. I'm going to check one other place. Yeah, not a lot on here. Sorry, I don't mean to give you dead air. I'm just trying to look at something. Yeah. A lot of actually, the one thing I keep seeing here is there's a lot of people here that are questioning the timeline. A lot of people saying like the timeline seems a bit off. A lot of people here saying that for some reason it doesn't seem correct, but I would say that we do have the camera footage of her around the time that they said she was last seen. That would, you can't lie to the cameras as such. A lot of people saying, how come there's no houses or cameras in the neighborhood that if she walked in the area, she left on foot, how come there's no other cameras that picked her up? That's a good point. If there was, let me get this stupid image off the screen. Sorry, guys. There you go. A lot of people saying that there was, why do we only have that one camera footage? If there was other Ring doorbells or security cameras or who knows, it's a pretty big, you saw the map. There's a billion houses nearby, and to leave that area, here, I'll show you. To leave this area, there's not that many ways of doing it. HOA. So if you had to walk on foot out of here, so out of Mustang, they live nearby here. How would you get out of here? Look how many houses. You would have to somehow pass a bunch of these homes to get out of the area. And the only footage we have is of that one CCTV camera from the neighbor. And it only captures like 10 seconds of it. Yet it seems like to get to any main road, you'd have to pass like about 1 billion homes and a few businesses as well. Unless you walk through this back area and follow the drainage somehow. But even then, you would still have to cross a bunch of these different homes. So I sort of agree with that. How come there isn't any more? Hey, Grace, how are you? Did I hear that? Yeah, dogs and someone had a drone up today trying to someone had a drone up trying to scan the area for anything in this sort of back area. So um it is a bit strange. SP1 said strange. Most kids her age have social media. It's probably hidden. Yeah, I agree. Emily Nobb said, well, if the family is telling her to come home instead of pleading for someone to release her, they may think she left on her own. Unfortunately, a lot of these family missing people end up being things like some families, and it's not right or wrong, it's just how some families are. Some families are very strict and they're very like family first, and this is the way we do stuff. And sometimes you get young people who rebel against the sort of, uh, you know, the strict structure of the family life. And I feel like sometimes we get these missing person cases where the young people are like, I can't take it anymore. I don't really want to be a part of that. And they run away. But I don't know if that's what's going on here. Tangled said a lot of the Spanish have a lot of people living in one house. Sometimes there's not enough beds. I'm just saying you could be right. Let's see. The only one we are being showed. Oh, there's more photos. If you want more photos of Cami, hold on. There was others. There was one of her and her mom. Let me grab it for you. If I can find it. There's one here that is from when she graduated. Ah, my computer is acting crazy tonight. There's this one, graduation photo. There's a couple of others. There's this one too. We've had quite a lot of photos of her. So if you wanted to see different ways, like angles you can see there. Emily Narb said overbearing parents could be. Gayla said, does it say if it's a bio mom and dad? It does not. It could be, yeah. Ring footage, etc. Yeah, that's all we've got is that one Ring doorbell footage. Nothing else. That's the only one we have. Let me just double check if... All right. I'm going to take you out to this other video that we'll watch here.
Since Bexar County Sheriff's deputies started looking for the 19-year-old who went missing on Christmas Eve. Now, family members and friends of Camila Olmos are leading a search of their own in hopes of finding her safe and soon. News 4 San Antonio's Phil Sterling joins us live from the far northwest side where the search continues tonight. Phil.
Now, Darian, I spoke with volunteers in this volunteer group, about 120 people strong. They say they've searched a 2-mile radius around Olmos's home. They've thoroughly searched it. And now what they've done is they've expanded that radius. They've eventually landed at this creek near Evelyn Scarborough Elementary School. They've been handing out these flyers showing Olmos and describing what she was reportedly wearing when she went missing. Now, she was last seen on a motion camera opening her back car door. Detectives believe she left her home on foot. Here you can see the map where volunteers have been searching. Sections you see that are highlighted are areas they've already searched. Now, this group is not connected to the Bexar County Sheriff's Office, although group members tell us they've seen sheriff's deputies searching in the field.
In fact, 2 calls that we put in today for possible evidence. Bexar County Sheriff responded immediately, and SAPD on the other case as well.
We're working with the sheriff's office to find out more about what they found. Right now we're waiting on an update. Olmos was last seen wearing a black hoodie, baby blue pajama bottoms, and white tennis shoes. Now, Oak Hills Church Youth Group says they're going to be holding a prayer at Ambassador's Coffee, and anybody is invited to join. That will start at 6 p.m. Phil Sterling reporting live.
That is interesting about the items they reckon they found. Some sort of evidence that they've found and that they've handed it over to the PD. Yeah, maybe you're right, Gayla. Maybe like a go bag or something, because maybe they found something like that, like her clothing that she was wearing. Maybe she changed or something. Like, could be. Amy says, I think she took off with someone. I hope that's not the case, because that would, there's a lot of people are saying that there's a lot of trafficking in the area. Sometimes these people who do this trafficking type of stuff, they like to isolate someone from their family, and then they convince them that they are the only way out. And they are like, it's now or never. And you end up with situations similar to this. So I hope not. Blaze said, such a beautiful young woman. Very, very pretty girl. Very pretty. Let me have a look here. I would like to know more about that evidence, whatever they found today. Like what items were located. We have too many tabs open. I have to close a bunch. Give me 1 second, guys. We literally have about 90 tabs open right now. And Ping has to close a bunch because I can't see what I'm doing. All right. And it's making my computer very unhappy that we have so many tabs open. All right, there we go. That's better. SP1 said, why is no one saying she's an adult? She has... I just said that before. I said that like 5 minutes ago. Yeah, she's 19. She can do whatever she wants. So it is interesting. I find it strange when people... They treat people, even when they're 19, as a child. And maybe that goes to some of the theories we were talking about before, if that makes sense, with the family and things like that. I'm not blaming the family. I'm just saying, maybe that goes towards it. I blame you guys for all the tabs. SP1 said, I have so many tabs in my head. Might want to deal with that. Gray said, I'll watch from the start because I don't know the case. Okay. Hey, Kalisa, how are you? Sometimes families can isolate their children, even older ones, especially in different cultures. Sometimes they put a lot on their plate. I know that. They almost treat them like a surrogate parent to if there's other children. They'll treat them like a surrogate mum and dad to some of the younger kids or family members. And they sort of put a lot on their plate even at 19. So, um, hey, Mama Mia, how are you? Good to see you. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know the family enough to comment on their home life, but it is just a thing to think about. Yeah, let's go to KSAT. I want to see it. This was a few hours ago. Did they give any update? So her boyfriend's name is Nate Gonzalez. He was at the search today. I just want to see if they have anything about those items that they found. Yeah. No comment except for outside of like that video that we did watch. Yeah, Camilla's phone and all her belongings except her car key are still at home, including her car. Friends said she normally goes on walks, but that she always has her phone with her. They say that she was wearing a black North Face sweater with baby blue accents, baby blue shorts, and white shoes. So there you go. Yeah, it's a shame we can't get more information about that. Whatever was located today. That would be good information. Let me try one other source of information. So they're saying here the Bexar County Sheriff's Office deputies conducted multiple searches across several different areas nearby. Investigators have utilized deputies, investigators, agency search and rescue, drones, and support from Almo Area Search and Rescue, including the use of cadaver dogs. Despite their best efforts, officials have yet to locate Cami, and her family is pleading for the public's help. The foundation, Youth, Peace, and Justice Foundation, have been offering a $1,000 reward for information that leads to Cami's location and her safe return home. So that's what they are offering, $1,000 if anyone can tell authorities where Cami might be and to get her home safely. Other than that, authorities are saying homeowners and residents in the surrounding area of the HOA are requested to submit any surveillance footage or report any possible sightings to the Bexar County Sheriff's Office. So that is it. Let me check the Bexar County Sheriff's page. Here's another image of her, a different image that I've seen posted a couple places, but might give you a better look at her. There's another image of her that I've seen around. I'm gonna just check one other thing, see if we can get some information for you. Apparently, there is a vigil happening, or it happened this evening. So apparently, authorities have her phone and have put it through forensic testing. I wonder if they found anything on that mobile phone or not. Yeah, not seeing anything. And here's a photo of her and her mum. Here's a photo of her and her mother. So if you wanted to get other photos out there, there you go. Danny said Christmas Eve, strange timing. Almost like she didn't want to be with the family during that time. We all know Christmas Day is like one of the biggest family days of the year. It's pretty full on. Even Christmas Eve, some families celebrate on Christmas Eve and not Christmas Day. So maybe Christmas Eve was like their big party or something and she didn't want to be involved. SP Mom said if she wants to come home, they need to investigate why she may have run away. That's a good point. Why did she leave in the first place is better than dragging her home. You can't drag her home like a naughty child because she's an adult. You can't just be like, come here, naughty little girl. You've made everyone very worried. Come back to mummy's place. Like, you can't do that. Emily says, hopefully she'll reach out to someone if she did leave on her own will. Let's hope so. Tangled is talking about Stefan Stones. Let's not do that. I don't want to talk about Stefan tonight. You'll make me mad. I don't really want to do that tonight. All right. That's your update for that. Now, in Australia this morning, there was a crime scene that was discovered in Quakers Hill in New South Wales. And what they discovered was two people dead, one outside of a house, one inside of a house. An hour after authorities arrived at the scene, a 50-year-old man arrived at the police station at 5:30 in the morning and handed himself in. And there was supposed to be a big press conference around now, and I was hoping to maybe take you guys to it. And I'm just going to see if they did do it or not. Hold on. I'm just trying to see if they did end up doing that press conference about what happened. So it was a day. Oh, they're calling it a double. Yeah, let's have a look. They're saying a man has been arrested as detectives investigate the death of a woman and a man in Sydney's northwest. Just before 5 p.m. today, or 5 a.m. today, emergency services were called to a home on Ilabo Street, Quakers Hill, after reports of a disturbance. Officers from the Riverstone Police Area Command attended and found a man on the footpath suffering stab wounds. A woman aged in her 30s was found deceased inside the home. She is yet to be formally identified. The injured man was treated by New South Wales ambulance paramedics before being taken to Liverpool Hospital in a critical condition. He since died. So, as far as I know, he's since passed away. A crime scene has been established and detectives have commenced an investigation into the circumstances surrounding the incident under Strike Force Acoma. About 5:30 a.m. in the morning, a 47-year-old man was arrested after attending Blacktown Police Station. Police have since notified the man aged in his 30s died in hospital about 9 a.m. He is yet to be formally identified. So yeah, this is pretty strange. 5 a.m. today, someone called emergency services reporting that disturbance. When they got there, they found a guy basically critically injured outside the home, suffering from stab wounds. Then they went inside the home and found a woman already deceased. Then, about half an hour later, a man self reported to a police station and then he was arrested. 47-year-old man. So we were hoping to get a better update on this, and there was supposed to be a press conference underway. But being that it is a weekend, we may not get it. So yeah, this was all over the radio and scanners this morning in New South Wales. What are they saying here? When police arrived at that location, they discovered a male in his 30s suffering from stab wounds on the front footpath. They then entered the house where they discovered a female deceased in the kitchen, suffering from stab wounds. The male was transported to Liverpool Hospital where he unfortunately died despite the best efforts of medical staff. About 30 minutes after emergency services responded to the address, police arrested a 47-year-old man after he went to Blacktown Police Station. They said the male in custody was previously in a relationship with the woman, who is thought to have been in a new relationship with the deceased man. Oh my God, really? That is horrific. So this guy, unhappy of his relationship breakdown with his partner, sounds like they've completely separated. She started seeing a new guy. After Christmas, this guy has gone over to the address at 4 a.m. in the morning and stabbed the new boyfriend and killed his ex-partner. Wow, why? That is really just ridiculous. That is crazy. I want to know, one, how he got into the property. I want to know how that happened. And then two, how did the poor guy, the new partner, how did he end up on the footpath outside, basically critically injured? And then how did the woman end up with stab wounds in the kitchen? These are all questions that really need to be answered, because if the new couple, and one of them being the woman, his ex-partner, knew about her boyfriend and the type of person he was, why would you let him into the property at 4 a.m. in the morning? Like, did he break in? Did he sneak into the home? It's all very concerning. I really want to find this press conference, because obviously there was one, because it sounds like the police have given that press conference. Let me see if I can find it. Very small update. This is probably all I'm going to be able to bring you. Hold on.
Over reports of a disturbance on Ilabo Street. When they arrived, they found a man in his 30s on the footpath suffering stab wounds. He was treated by paramedics before being taken to Liverpool Hospital in a critical condition. Police say he died a few hours later. Detectives entered the home, where they found the body of a woman, also in her 30s. She's yet to be formally identified. We spoke to a neighbour who said he heard a commotion unfold at around 4:30 this morning.
There was a couple of brief crashes coming. I couldn't tell which direction it was coming from. And then I think a lady screamed 4 times, just a wordless scream of fear sort of thing. And then I think 2 or 3 different dogs were barking all at once, and then it all kind of just suddenly stopped at the same time. And from then it was just pure silence until the police came probably 20 minutes later.
Around an hour later, police say a 47-year-old man turned himself in at Blacktown Police Station. He was arrested and remains in custody. A strike force has been set up to investigate what happened. Right now, detectives are door knocking and speaking with neighbours, while a forensics team is sweeping the scene.
Awful, really awful. The poor family of those 2 people. That is extremely sad. The fact that it seems like this was done under the cover of darkness. Yeah, I'm just gonna have a look here. They're saying here, police recovered a knife at a service station in Woodcroft, about 8 kilometers from the crime scene after the man's arrest. The victims were believed to have been in a relationship, according to Superintendent Jason Joyce. They said, "We're not sure what type of relationship or the duration of that relationship. The male that's in custody was previously in a relationship with the female." Superintendent Joyce said the incident appeared to be DV related based on early inquiries. They said, obviously, this is a very traumatic incident, traumatic for my police. My condolences go out to the family of the deceased individuals. They said multiple crime scenes have been established, including at the home where the couple were killed, the service station where the knife was recovered, and at the man's Blacktown home, the guy who was arrested, and then another crime scene at the hospital where they took the guy. So, wow, they're saying the incident took place between 4:30 a.m. and 5:30 a.m. on today, and they're saying that they're asking anyone with CCTV who lives on the street to give that into police. That is just horrific, all because of all because of sort of like a, I don't know if you can class it as a love triangle, but it almost sounds like this girl has maybe broken up with the guy because of this type of behavior. And yeah, it's sort of almost like he's not taking it very well, decided to go over there and confront the new boyfriend, maybe. And this has happened. Basically, it's gone much further. I'm just trying to see if one of these other. So this is the home here with a Range Rover out the front. Nice home in Quakers Hill, apparently. What else do they have to tell us? There you go. Forensic people in Tyvek suits at the scene. So they're saying here the 47-year-old man is expected to face court on 2 counts of murder tomorrow morning. So he'll be arraigned tomorrow on those 2 counts of murder. I would like to see whether they will upgrade those charges to something like aggravating factor DV, something like that. Cold case. Hey, hey, Sienna, how are you? A lot of men can't handle rejection. Well, it's true. Tango Claude says most of us here in the US celebrations with family on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Okay. In Australia, it's majority on Christmas Day. Some people do the Christmas Eve, but it's not as popular. It's more popular to be the Christmas Day type of thing. Tangled Cord said most of us here in the US. Oh, sorry, I read that one. What am I doing? Woman still said so. The couple was probably asleep. Maybe, but they were found. She was found in the kitchen of the property. You would think if they were asleep, they would be found in the bedroom. I wonder if he tried to break into the house. No, because then how would he get into the kitchen? I don't know. I'm very confused because if you look at their property, it's not exactly easy to get into. It's got high gates, high fences. Where is that? Where's that article? No, I can't find it. I'll have to reload that article. Here. Here, when I can get the photo of the property up, I will show it to you. It's very loading very slowly. That's all right. I'll go back through my other tabs. Nope. Okay. For some reason, it is not loading now, but it did before. Sometimes the internet does not want to be your friend. Anyway, the house didn't look like it was very like insecure. It looked pretty easy to, you know, protect from someone getting in. I'm just trying to see if we can actually go down there and find the property. I wonder if it's that easy to find it. What does the home look like? Guys, give me 1 second. There we go. Yay, it finally loaded. Sorry about that. Yeah, here we go. So, I mean, it's got like high fences and a very small wall. I'm not even sure you can get past that fence or not. So I don't know if you could break into this property. It's almost like you would have to go to the front door. I'm going to try to see if we can find it on the map. Okay, it looks... I don't know if I'll be able to, but I'll try. What does it look like? Sort of got a brick square shaped front to it. Here? What does it look like on the photo? Okay. I almost wonder if it's this property here. Right here. That looks very similar to the photo. If you look at that, it's got the solar panels on the roof too. Right there. I don't know if it's the same one, but it looks kind of similar. I mean, I guess if it is the same place, it does have this side fence where the neighbors heard crashing and like banging noises. And they said that they heard something like that before the screams that took place. So if this is the same property, I mean, yeah, you probably could get in through this gate. And maybe that's the noise they heard. I'll just check. I don't think there's another house that matches the description on this road. Nope. I think it has to be most likely this one. Let me double check. Is there any other property that fits that description? I don't see another one that has the solar panels on the roof like that. Unless I'm wrong, but I could be. All right, that's the only one that has solar panels on that front little bit of the roof like that. Let's go back up there. Oh. Sorry, I'm not trying to give you guys more motion sickness. I was just trying and narrow it down a bit to that actual place. Yeah, I think it's got to be that one. It's the only one that has that sort of same type of roof that comes out on an L shape here with those solar panels and that green fence that runs all the way up like that. So, unless there's a cloned house. Ping's a bad driver. Yeah, sometimes. So that's what I'm gonna say, unless someone can tell me the address of the place. But yeah, very sad. That is awful. I think we're gonna probably find out a bit more about who this woman and who this guy is when their names can be given to the public. But right now, they must be waiting on notifying next of kin because there's no names being given to anyone. No names for the female, no names for the male, and no names for the guy in custody either. So there we go. I'll take you to Channel 9 very quickly.
woman has been found dead in a home in Quakers Hill. On the footpath outside, police also finding a man with life-threatening stab wounds. He's been taken to Liverpool Hospital for further treatment. A 47-year-old man has been arrested while a large-scale investigation is right now underway.
There you go. Large-scale investigation. All right. All right. Do we have any other stories for tonight? Any more for updates? I'll check for you. Let's see. What else do we have? All right. Maybe we got one more. One more. Maybe two. But I want to see this one first. So if we go out to California. All right. Everything's being great sort of loading of everything right now. It is net is slowing down to nothing. All right. So this popped up on my alerts for my true crime stuff that I have all different news alerts that I have every morning. Dad and daughter charged after DNA reveals she gave birth to his child. Julius Grant Jackson, 40, and his daughter Mackenzie Elizabeth Hicks, 20, are facing charges of I-word in North Carolina after DNA tests allegedly confirmed that Jackson had fathered Hicks' baby boy. There's a photo of the two of them here. I will open that up in a new tab for you. There you go. Father and daughter have been arrested after the DNA test came back as positive. They're saying a father and his daughter are facing I-word charges following DNA tests that allegedly confirmed that the man had fathered his daughter's baby boy. They're saying here it is when Mackenzie was then aged 18, came to the station alleging that her father, Julius, had SA'd her multiple times starting around when she was 13 years old. When first speaking with investigators, she claimed Jackson was aware of the incidents and wanted to file a report but never did. There you go. During the conversation in May of 2024, Hicks reportedly told police she was reluctant to proceed with the case as her father could potentially face charges too. So she had actually reported it to law enforcement a while ago. 4 months later, on the 18th of September 2024, Danielle Hicks, Mackenzie's biological mother, contacted Detective Corr and revealed that her daughter was pregnant as a result of being CA'd by Jackson. And they're saying here, Mackenzie's mother allegedly told the detective that she suspected some of the encounters between her daughter and Jackson were consensual. On 25th of September, Norris obtained and executed a search warrant for DNA samples from Jackson and Hicks, along with any items that might hold evidentiary value to any crimes. They're saying here DNA results from the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation confirmed Jackson's paternity of the son. When police attempted to arrest Jackson, he and his accomplice reportedly fled the scene in Jackson's lorry, leading to a brief pursuit that culminated in their capture. During an inspection of the lorry involved in the chase, police reportedly discovered several high-powered loaded firearms. There you go. Jackson, now 40, is facing charges including felony I-word, committing a felony crime against nature, felony fleeing to elude arrest with a motor vehicle, committing a hit and run, leaving the scene of a crash with property damaged, resisting a public officer, possessing a fictitious driver's license, and failing to stop for a stop sign or flashing red light. Hicks, the daughter, now 20, and living at the same address, has had her bail set at £1 million. She faces charges of felony I-word and committing a felony crime against nature. Ugh, sorry, that was a lot to read. That is crazy. Let me see what else we can find about these two. Julius Grant Jackson. All right, Julius Grant Jackson. There's got to be more about this. Let's have a look. That's not working. Let's find out about the daughter, maybe. I'm surprised that there's not more local coverage about this. There is very little. Yeah, this is strange. Very few reporting on this locally. Only one from the North Carolina NC Beat. Don't know who that is, but they are one of the ones covering it. There's a photo of father and daughter, and they're saying here that Julius Grant Jackson SA'd her over a period of several years, beginning when she was 13. That poor girl, in a way, I know she got charged with the crime, but it's almost like the grooming made her do that. She's been abused since she was 13. She sort of doesn't know anything else, if that makes sense. She doesn't really know a different world other than that. So to say that she's complicit, I get it, but at the same time, she's a victim. Yeah. They said here, um, yeah. They're saying here that apparently Hick's mother also reportedly told detectives that information related to the alleged relationship had been observed on Jackson's digital tablet, raising further concerns. Around the same time, a woman described by police as a family friend came forward and told investigators she had learned that Jackson was the biological father of Hick's infant son. Jeez. That's awful. And this guy, Julius Grant Jackson, is a very sick person. I hope he remains in jail forever. Apparently, they appeared in court on December 19, and they're due to come back in court on the 6th of January for another case update. So we're gonna probably find out more on the 6th of January. I'm just trying to. It's strange to me that no North Carolina news agencies are covering this at all. Very strange to me. I thought this would be huge story in North Carolina, but apparently it is not. Yeah, can't find anything, but there you go. That's all I can provide to you to this day, but that's awful. Rachel said that mum should get in trouble. They should all get in trouble. How is it that everyone knew about it for years and was just like, that's fine? Let's not remove the child from the care of the guy who's doing that. It's like no one really cared. Yeah, no one seems to want to report on this. There's hundreds of news stations in North Carolina, and none of them are reporting on it. Yeah, I'm just trying to see if there's any local coverage at all. No, I can't find a single local, like a North Carolina station that's covering it. Yep, nothing. So I wish I could bring you an actual update from a news station, but I cannot. Cannot find one. So I will keep an eye on it for January 6th when it comes up at court in North Carolina. And when I get the update to what they're going to do with the both of them, I will let you know. But yeah, for right now, They're both held in jail, and we'll find out more in January. There's a photo of Mackenzie, and there's a photo of Mr. Julius, apparently one of the sickest men in the world. This guy he's everything wrong with everyone. Espionage said, "What's so special about North Carolina?" I don't know. They have a lot of cases. They could be the next Florida. Tango Core says, "I'll be sure to let Grizzly True Crime know about this." You can let her know. Say hi to her for me. Say hi to her. All right. Give me. Gayla says, obviously sat listening to the banjos. Dun 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 dun. Those banjos wind up in every bloody story we do. Why? Every time. Purple Daisy said, "I hope the daughter pleads not guilty and gets a good defense attorney." Yeah, I feel like while her offending when she was over the age of 18, I get it. But how do you ignore the years of grooming in that when she was underage? How is it that you don't see that her behavior as an adult was influenced by what happened to her as a kid? And I mean, I get it. You can say, well, she was a willing participant. Yeah, I get that, but I get it. It's a hard case. It's almost like, yes, she did something wrong, but she's almost got a reason for it at the same time. I understand why the police charged her, but at the same time, she's a victim. She's a victim of her father's predatory nature. So it's very sad. It's very, very sad. All right. Yeah, January 6th, I'll let you know more about it. I think I've got one more for tonight if I can find it. Where is it? All right. We got a missing girl. Let's see if we can continue our track of every time I look up a missing kid, they're found. I don't think we're going to win. I think we're going to not win this one. 17-year-old. Maybe I'm wrong. Unfortunately, there may be a missing girl. Unfortunately, it looks like this girl is still missing, hasn't been seen since December 19, and they are trying to track her down. So here you go. You might be able to help if you live within the area.
We have an alert for two missing girls today. One of them is a teen who disappeared about a week ago, and San Antonio police now need your help. This is 17-year-old Michaela Genesis. Police say she was last seen on December 19th in the 9,000 block of Summers Bend on the south side. Michaela was wearing a plain black t-shirt and black sweats with a red and blue Hello Kitty mini backpack with black Air Force One shoes. If you have any information, you're asked to call police.
All right, here we go, my friend. Here we go. 17-year-old San Antonio girl was missing for Christmas after she disappeared on the southwest side on December 19. Michaela Genesis Munez also goes by the name Kayla. Went missing in the 9,000 block of Summers Bend near Somerset Road in I-35. She's only 4 feet 11, weighs around 120 pounds, has brown hair and brown eyes. But her hair has purple and blue streaks in it. Let's have a look. Michaela Genesis. All right. Sometimes goes by the name Kayla. Is she on the Amber Alert? Let's have a look. Amber. Let's see. Active Amber Alerts. No, not on the active Amber Alert. There is no current active Amber Alerts from recently, although Alan Fisher and the Alan Fisher and Rochelle Fisher are both still on the Amber Alert, but as soon as it ticks over to January 1st, 2026, their names will go to the archive of the Amber Alert. So they're still missing from June 23 of 2025. But this particular girl, Michaela, no, she is not on the Amber Alert. They have not issued one for her, even though she's been missing since December 19. That's a long time to be missing for a 17-year-old girl. Let's see. I do have a different photo for you. Ah, according to her sister Jennifer, she has been located in the last few hours. In the last few hours, her sister Jennifer says that they found her. So she has been located. And I will show you that message from Jennifer here. Hey, Ping streak is alive. Yeah, here, Jennifer. And she says, this is her sister. She has been found and is safe. Thank you all for your prayers. Hey, our streak alive is continuing. Anytime we have a missing missing child and we go to look it up, it's always found. And we continue with our streak of missing children being found alive when Ping puts them on the show. I love that streak. I'm glad that for some reason every time I go to do a missing child, they're found. Yeah, there you go. Her sister says she has been located and she is safe. That is great news. That I'll keep my streak alive. I wonder if it'll continue into 2026 next year. I hope it does, because I think we had about 25 of them this year, where every time I went to do a missing kid, they'd been located within the few hours before I did it. Oh, we'll finish on a story that's not a true crime story, but listen to this. On Christmas Day in LA, a tornado touched down in California, in LA. They're saying here officials with the National Weather Service confirmed that a brief tornado touched down in Boyle Heights on Christmas Day. The tornado, which was rated an EF0, was 0.3 miles long and 30 yards wide, had a maximum wind speed of 80 miles per hour, and was rated 0 on the EF scale. They're saying a home on Lee Street, which was considered ground zero for the twister, suffered notable destruction to the roof, which caused rainwater to leak into the house. That's pretty interesting. A tornado in winter in LA. So, yeah, they're saying they found a utility pole that had been bent nearby, and moderate sized tree branches had also fallen. And they're saying the path of destruction ended in an alley just north of the shopping plaza off South Lorena Street, where additional damage to residential roofs and chain link fences were found. So there you go. If you were in LA on Christmas Day in the Boyle Heights area, a tornado touched down in your area. Hey, Joe, how are you? I know, but in LA, it's like a big deal. They very rarely get big tornadoes or tornadoes at all in LA. Blaze said, "Did you hear the singer David's father is one of Epstein's lawyers? Is he? I didn't know that. He's a specialist in device data. I heard this on TMZ So take it as it comes. Okay, we can look into it. That case is just dragging. The David case is so slow. It's ridiculous. Um, Here, hold on. Uh, I don't think there's been any real good updates in the Celeste. Uh, yeah, the last update for the David investigation was a month ago when they had the grand jury hearing. That was the last real big update before the holidays. Since then, there's been real no movement at all. So I don't know when we're going to get a resolution to the David investigation. It feels like never. It feels like we're never going to get there. It just feels like, is 5 months not enough to sort of figure all this out? Apparently not. This also saying court seals records in case of teen's body found in singer David's Tesla. So, yeah, I don't know when we're going to actually hear anything more about it. It wasn't a tornado. It was Santa flying too close to the roofs. That's what you tell the kids, right? Hey, Kelly, how are you? How are you, my friend? Yeah, it is very frustrating. I'm frustrated about it. Yes, thank you. Hey, Poor Son's mom. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for all your help over the year. Great to see you. I hope you had a good Christmas, my friend. I hope you did. By the way, I want to thank my friend Deborah. Deborah, thank you so much for the donation to the channel. I appreciate it. You are very kind. I don't want to read out your first name because I feel bad when we do that. Wait, I don't want to read out your last name, I mean. But hey, I love you all very much. You are very kind. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. You are very, very sweet. The people who support this channel are very, very kind. I had someone leave a comment yesterday saying, "Ping, you should ask people throughout the show more." I will never be that channel. I don't like when creators do that. I hate it. And if I become that type of channel, you guys should all tell me to quit YouTube. You guys should all be like, "Ping, you've crossed the line. You've become one of those channels. You should quit YouTube." All right. So if I ever do that and I become like a channel I won't name, you let me know, and I will walk away from YouTube forever. Woman of Steel said, "Did you build the kit?" No, we haven't built it yet. Mrs. Ping wants to print something out because she wants to do the you have to pipe windows for it, and in years before they used to give you like a uh like a like a stencil that you could do it, but now to save paper they only give you a PDF file. That's it. That not the ones that attack children, the ones that give you information in a document. But yeah, so she can't get to a printer and we don't own one here, so we have to wait till we get to one of the family members' houses to print it out. Yeah, like a template. Yeah. Yeah. We still got it. Actually, Mrs. Ping, give it to me. Give me the box thing, if you can. Where'd you put it? She doesn't know where she put it. Hold on. All right. Thanks. So here it is. So we're gonna build this, and there you go. Christmas cabin. So we still got it. This thing has like 50 Kit Kats in it. You could, if you just bought this to eat it, you'd be very happy. You'd be very, very happy. Let me show you. So it's got like, there we go. It's got like all these Smarties in it, and what else does it have? It's got like, look at this. It's filled with Kit Kats. Look at all these Kit Kats, like a whole box of Kit Kats. So it's got Kit Kats and like melting chocolate. You have to melt all these things. You have to melt the little things, and Yeah. So we're gonna make it. We have to print something out that we didn't know that we had to do it. But we're gonna make a. We're gonna try and make the Kit Kat house that's on this cover. So we've had a look at it. We sort of understand how it works. But those little doors and windows, you have to pipe them with a piping bag. So we have to print out the like little thing for it. All right. Hold on. Sorry, I was speaking to Joe. I was saying, Joe, I hope you had a good Christmas. Hope you had a nice break. Hope you got to relax a little bit, including all of the people here tonight. Hope you all got to relax a little bit and took some time off from the horrible world of true crime. It really is a talking about true crime every day. It can get to you after a while. You're talking about the worst of humanity every night, and it can get to you. So everyone should have some time away from true crime. Watch something else, a comedy. Watch a superhero movie if you like Spider-Man or something. Watch something that isn't depraved conduct of the human race so that you can sort of reset your mind every so often. I think it's a good thing for everyone, including creators like me. I do. And I think it's something you should all do to try and get away from we talk about some of the worst people in life, really. We talk about things that you think could never happen. Like we've talked about some crazy stuff. Like tonight, the people in Quakers Hill in Sydney, love triangle, ex-boyfriend went there, decided to kill both of them. I mean, crazy. Oh, you're gonna go watch the new Avatar movie tomorrow? Ping is looking forward to the new Spider-Man movie. Ping is a fan of Tom Holland and the new Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man, especially this version of it with Tom Holland. I think he's a great actor. Great Spider-Man. He's probably the best one. And I am looking forward to Spider-Man Brand New Day coming out next year sometime. Also looking forward to the new season of Ted coming out. Is it Ted? Yeah. The soccer coach who's an American football coach coming out next year with the season 4. I'm looking forward to that as well. I think that will be a lot of fun. So, Secret Santa with Nate Eaton. Okay. You listen to Reddit stories? Sounds like Tom Hanks films to me. Okay. You listen to Tom Hanks. I'm going to relax tomorrow as I'm going to see Trans-Siberian Orchestra live. I hope you have fun. Well, I don't know what that does, but I hope it's fun. Kelly J said, I'm finally reading Harry Potter books. I'm almost done with number 2. My daughter begged me for years to read them. You've never seen the movies either. I like Harry Potter. I feel like I've watched them so much though, that they're sort of burnt into my brain. Because every Christmas in America, did you guys know this is a thing? In the US, there are cable channels on Christmas Day that show Harry Potter. Like all of them, from like the first one to the last ones. Every year they do it. I can't remember what channel it is, but there's a couple of channels that they just show it on repeat, like for like 2 days. That's the only thing they show is Harry Potter. So if you like that, you can watch that on the USA cable. Gail said, never been on Reddit, but like listening to people read them. Okay. Kim says, my daughter bought me Mindhunter for Christmas. The book that I have, the one that I showed you. Hold on. This one right here, Mindhunter. It's a pretty good book. If you go to if you get to around page 150, you'll start seeing some stuff for Rex Heuermann. You'll see some stuff for Rex Heuermann that relates to things that he's done. So yeah, there you go. Yes, okay. Enjoy the read. It's a good book. It's a good book. Their show is called Ghosts of Christmas Past. I'll have to look it up. I've never heard of it. I hope you have fun tomorrow. Hey, Danny says good night. Yes, good night, my friend. I'll be watching Poor Thing tomorrow. I don't know what that is. I'm not sure, but I hope you have fun. Doctor Who, make Doctor Who great again. I'm excited. I don't like Doctor Who, but I am a big fan of Billy Piper. I like Billy Piper. Secret Diary of a Call Girl is one of my favorite shows ever made, and I love Billy Piper. She's amazing. But she's coming back to be the Doctor in Doctor Who, right? So she's going to be re-energized as the Doctor, even though she left like 10 years ago. I think the new season of Doctor Who will be amazing with her as the Doctor again because Billy Piper is a great actress. So if you've never seen Secret Diaries of a Call Girl, you should watch that too. Gayla says, I've read all the Potter books and watched the films. Yeah, I've seen them like ad nauseum. I've watched them a billion times. Kim says, my daughter got Doctor Who videos for Christmas. Oh, I hope she enjoys them. Let's see, you love her too? Yeah. She's pretty good. Billy Piper is pretty good. She used to be a singer. Back when I was a teenage boy, Billy Piper was a pop star, and she used to sing like Britney Spears type, pop music in the UK. Now she's an actor, and she's pretty good. She's a better actor than she ever was a singer. She wasn't such a great singer, but she's a great actor. All right. I think that's it for tonight. We got to 5 o'clock. We did pretty well tonight. All right. I love you all. Hey, thank you to all the people who support this channel. Thank you to my friends. I appreciate it. Without you, there really can be no channel. And so far this year, we've done pretty well. So I'm very thankful to all of you. Yeah, I will see you then. I'll see you. What? You shouldn't jump so fast. Okay. I'm not a fan of Penny Dreadful. I didn't watch that. No. Thanks, Tanya. All right. I love you all. Thank you. If you haven't subscribed, I would appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button. And if you haven't hit that thumbs up, we've gone down. We were hitting over 150 every day. You guys got to help me get it back to over 150 likes and thumbs up every day. It helps the algorithm. It can't be under 100. We got to be over every day. All right. I love you all. Good night. Bye.